Da 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 da. Inspector Gadget. Da 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 da.
It'll be stuck in my head for the next week, because it always is when I hear it.
Yeah, much like the DuckTales theme, which that one is...
For me, it's this and the Pink Panther.
Yeah, I get you.
I'll be walking around the fucking house just going to get a thing.
Well, we got the Inspector Gadget movie review here by the Nostalgia Critic. This one was requested by Todd Phillips. So, Todd, thank you very much for your request. And I can't wait to see what y'all, what this has in store for us. I mean, I've seen the Inspector Gadget movie when I was a kid. Pretty goofy as a kid. The Inspector Gadget movie starring Matthew Broderick. It was pretty silly, pretty stupid back in the day. But
I haven't seen it since I was like a little kid. So.
Same. But, well, not a little kid, but I saw it when I was a bit older. I think I was like in my late teens, early 20s when I saw it again. And here's what I'll say. The jokes that they had in it were, some of them were pretty, like, dirty.
I can't remember, to be honest.
It's stuff that flew over kids' heads, but adults would see it and be like, oh, that's an innuendo. Nostalgia Critic has a bit of a sore spot against Matthew Broderick because of several things. Mostly because of Godzilla and that's a lot of fish. Let's go ahead and get into it. Also, Nick is very tired. He's been up since, what?
7:30 a.m.
Yeah, so it's been over 12 hours. It's actually been over 13 hours, approaching 14 hours.
9 right now.
Yeah, so...
15.
Yeah, we're approaching the 14th hour of him being up.
Sleep deprived in general lately. So.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into this. This is the Inspector Gadget movie review by the Nostalgia Critic. Let's check out what Doug has to say.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
Hi, Doug.
Let's talk about Inspector Gadget. He was a show in the 1980s about a half-human, half-robot detective. No, this one was funny. Intentionally funny. It centered around the inspector's bumbling antics to stop a supervillain named Dr. Claw, while Gadget's young niece, Penny, and a dog named Brain would go behind his back and solve the crime for him. It wasn't anything special, but for kids, it wasn't that bad. It had a smart, humble role model who never got the credit, but was just happy to see justice done. It had a menacing villain you never saw who had a pretty intimidating voice.
Well, what a delightful surprise.
And of course,
yeah, also...
Very death metal.
Yeah, also, Dr. Claw, the narrator of the Doom Testaments.
The same guy?
I don't know. It's, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
It had that kick-ass song. Doing a movie on this premise, however, would be tricky, but not impossible. Great care would have to be taken. Let's see, I know! Let's get that idiot who said that's a lot of fish from Godzilla. And while we're at it, why don't we get that moron who ruined Madonna's career? No, the other one. There you go! And finally, let's get one of the greatest directors of all time. The one who directed the coming-of-age classic, Cool as Ice. I smell genius!
Yeah.
As if that trio of idiots wasn't enough, this movie has horrible writing, terrible jokes, and follows the show about as closely as, well, casting John Leguizamo as Luigi. I mean,
Yeah, that
it's
wasn't
bad.
good.
This shit is really, really bad. So go Gadget, fuck a movie, because we're in for quite an experience. This is Inspector Gadget. So as the film begins, I have to admit, it is pretty cool hearing the theme song in a motion picture. But that quickly changes when we see the cockface himself, Matthew Broderick.
Good morning, Officer Brown.
Very well. Officer Brown, how'd you do?
God, he hasn't even said anything and already I hate him. We see this annoying dream sequence where he saves a bus of kids from danger when we suddenly cut to cliche number 5621, thinking you're kissing a woman when really you're kissing an animal. Go Gadget rehash.
Brain.
Michelle
Having another
Trachtenberg.
hero cop dream, Uncle John.
By the way, this is Penny, everybody. Yeah, they couldn't even get a blonde girl to play the part.
They said
No, they had to get Michelle Trachtenberg because Michelle Trachtenberg was the new kid star that was going to take over the world at the time. Harriet the Spy and all that shit. Then she did Eurotrip, and then no one wanted to cast her again in anything.
I liked her at the time.
I did too. I thought she was all right. But once again, much like how
I liked this whole movie at the time. I was just a very young, dumb child. So.
as I was too.
security guard isn't enough experience to be a cop.
Uncle John, I'm sorry.
And of course, just like in the show, her parents are...
Unavailable.
not around. And thus Uncle Gadget, known right now as Uncle Brown, is left alone to take care of her. This is Brain. He looks nothing like the cartoon, doesn't talk, so let's move on.
It's not the badge, it's the heart behind it. I'm very proud of you.
Well, wow! The hell was that? What,
The hell of a
nothing?
transition.
Anyone? We're not gonna address that? Okay, we'll just come back to that later. We see a scientist played by Odo from Deep Space Nine and his daughter Brenda, as they're trying to work on a new invention that can control robotic limbs by the power of the mind.
Tap your foot again. What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about how much you remind me of your mother.
That's it. It's animated by will, not by thought. By your heart, not your head.
Oh, I see. So it's love that fuels scientific mental animatronic limb repair. Oh, and this just in, believing in fairies can regenerate dead tissue back to life as well. Okay, time out! What the hell is that? Well, why are there suddenly random things popping up in the segues? Unless those are the segues?
They are.
Okay, film 101, guys. When you do a transition, you want something that actually transitions, not incredibly distracts from everything. You see, guys, when you do something this annoying and this distracting, it doesn't add to the style, it just takes away from the story.
It's literally jangling keys in front of a child's face, like, look at this, look at this. That's it.
It worked on me as a kid.
Oh, there is.
Same.
I mean, if you're gonna go that far, why not just go all the way? Why don't you do this?
We did it!
So Brown
Those
turns
kinda
out as a
Austin
security
Powers.
guard at the
No,
doctor's.
that's the joke. Because here's the thing: those Austin Powers ones were like that because they were trying to be deliberately like distracting and like just like. They actually made fun of it in one of them where Austin literally just like after doing like his is just staying there. He just goes and just like exits off the stage right.
Place and often makes chit-chat with the doctor's daughter, Brenda. But little do they know that the evil Dr. Claw is watching and ready to steal the robotic foot for his own diabolical needs. Maybe he's hoping to start an animatronic kickball team. He zaps the doctor, I think, gets shot and edited by a monkey, and Brenda comes across the lab and sees what happened.
Dr. Bradford, I won't rest until I find whoever's responsible. Justice will be served.
Look at that! I almost pulled out of my wide-eyed blandness and delivered an actual human emotion, but I pulled back into the blandness just in time. Oh, that's too much emotion there. Just in time. So Brown goes
Sad to
after
say,
the
but
bad
yeah.
guys to
Matthew Broderick is infamous for dialing it in. His performances work in a lot of cases. For instance, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Killed it in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I thought he was awesome in that. But in this and so many other films, he just dials it in because he doesn't want to be there. He's just there for the paycheck.
to see if he can make justice prevail.
Oh no, we've been chased by the Hatchback Squad.
Were you meaning to keep Dr. Claw in the shadows? Because you are aware you're revealing him quite clearly right now. now he's back in the shadows again. Are we just supposed to forget you revealed him right there? I mean, we saw it. There's no surprise now. We know what he looks like. Why put him back in the shadows if you just showed his face? I mean, it's sort of like starting off the original Star Wars movie with...
The Imperial Senate will not sit still for this. When they hear you've attacked a diplomat...
Don't talk back to me, young lady. That is no way to speak to your father. Oh, shit. You're not supposed to know that yet. Just forget that part, everybody. Totally not important. Carrie, help.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good, good. Go with that. Take her away. Dodged a bullet.
God dang it.
Uh-oh. Hurrah! Decors!
Yep.
So Dr. Claw finally
I
reveals
remember
himself.
finding that hilarious in the theater.
No, I did too. Now here's the thing: when you're a kid, you don't realize brand deals. Because guarantee, I wonder how much Yahoo paid to have that put on there. You know the funny thing about Yahoo? Yahoo was literally the biggest search engine in the world at this time. This is pre-Google. You know.
It's probably a lot of kids that are like, huh?
You know,
what are you talking about?
No, here's the thing. Yahoo was actually had an offer to buy Google, and they didn't do it. Do you know why? Because they felt that Google was going to financially fail. 4 years later to the date, Google offers to try and buy Yahoo for like 50 times what the original offer for Google was back in the day. That is insane.
It's a huge fumble.
Again, and uses an explosive to blow him up.
Yeah, there's probably kids watching us that have been alive, like, and have never experienced a time when Google wasn't the main way to search for things.
I was going to say there's a okay, here's the thing. I wanted to show y'all something. So, here we go. Yahoo.com. There, it's still up. Oh, not only that, but is this one still up? Yes.
Never used that.
I did. I used to use it.
Before Yahoo, I used a lot of Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, it's ask.com now. It used to be Ask Jeeves. Then there was
There was another one too. It was something
MSN.com.
Something Fire, like
Angel Fire.
Angel Fire, that was it. Yeah.
Is it still up? Ah, no, it's a website builder now. Damn. Oh, it's Lycos. Lycos owns it.
Yeah, Lycos.
Lycos was another one too.
Lycos was also the very first thing I used to find like music to stream.
Yeah.
So Lycos Music was like the very first music streaming service that was ever out, and they had quite a bit of things. Pretty sure Lycos Music, it eventually got bought by Yahoo, I think, and became Yahoo Music.
Wow.
But I remember me and Chance like were looking up like metal bands on it. That's where I found I think Lamb of God, and I can't remember if it was Yahoo yet. Whenever we found Children of Bodom with it as well.
Oh gosh, and look at this, MySpace, and then what was the other one? It was there was Friendster for a while.
Never used that.
I never did either.
MySpace was the first social media I got on, and then went to Facebook straight away after that.
That's how a lot of people went. Well, anyway, back to this.
Unless you count like random forums and stuff as being
True.
social media, I guess.
True, yeah.
RPG chat forums is one I hang out on a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, did I mention in the cartoon that Dr. Claw never reveals himself? And even if he did, would this be at all what you imagine he looked like? I imagine he looks like a monster. I imagine he looks like a machine. I imagine he looks like that gay guy from my best friend's wedding. No one else? So the explosion leaves Brown about as broken as his acting. Brenda makes a plea that he always thinks with his heart, so he'd be perfect for their weird-ass little robot operation. Thus, all the doctors come together to put Mr. Brown back together.
We can rebuild him.
We have the technology.
Oh, are they loading him with cartoon sound effects?
Basically.
Oh, it's straight up a slinky there at one point.
Yeah.
We see that Claw actually has a claw now, so he decides to give himself that name. Yeah, I forgot to mention, his name wasn't actually Claw this whole time, it was Sanford Skolax.
Just Claw. One word. Like Madonna.
So let's just recap. Dr. Claw isn't called Dr. Claw. He doesn't own a terrorist organization called MAD. He sounds less like a monster and more like a fashion critic. And the fact that you never see him in the show is being replaced with seeing him all the time.
Yeah, the one thing that I did not like about this movie as a kid was Claw. Like, I thought he was much less intimidating and much less cool.
If they would have never shown his face and would have just instead, you know, just had him, you know, just be this technologically, like, sound overlord, and Gadget had to figure out who he was. Then there's like a reveal. It's just like that. Maybe you could do it the same thing, like having him as the like someone who seems to be on the up and up, but then it's revealed later on that he's Dr. Claw, and he says, and instead of him using his accent, instead he goes, "What are you talking about? Oh, you have no idea how long I've wanted to," and just like go back to using like the.
You have no idea how long I wanted to just talk like this.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's ways they could do it, and he could like tear off a mask or something like that, and we don't see his face again after that. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Wow! Did they get one thing right? Why did you change so much? Were you afraid if you stuck too closely to the cartoon that wouldn't be taken as seriously? Need I remind you this movie has scenes like this? Yeah, wouldn't want to face that! So Brown wakes up and finds that his entire body is laced with, and let's be fair here, mostly pointless shit. Yeah, you never know when you might need a balloon. Or bubbles. Fucking bubbles! Yeah, thank God there's no security guards looking after this walking human atom bomb. Just let him press the nuclear button. He'll be fine.
Mr. Brown, you've just come out of a very long recovery. You are now a sophisticated network of tissue hardware and software.
No! I gotta get out of here.
Get back! God dang these wide-angle lens shots. Literally, when you're so close to someone in the camera that you can literally count the hair follicles on their fucking mustache. Jesus.
My God, is he bad? I'm sorry, this guy's a marvel. Truly a gift to bad acting. It's like he never knows which delivery to give, so he sorta stops halfway and decides to maybe go with another one.
Maybe. No! I gotta get out of here.
No! I gotta get out of here.
I know that this is all new for you, and it must feel strange.
By the way, you hear those really annoying sound effects that won't shut the fuck up? Yeah, get used to that, people. It's all throughout the movie. It's like he swallowed Gerald McBoing Boing or something.
No!
So Brenda explains to him exactly how he functions and how they'll be able to keep him alive.
It's a high-powered processor chip that increases the charge in the human brainwave enough to move the machinery that's now built into your body.
But we still can't make you act.
Without this chip, your body couldn't possibly function. Any more questions?
Nope.
Then I will just give you your manual to study.
Heart of Gold.
Pretty bad, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody, he's so innocent that he actually makes monkey sounds whenever he sees a woman's behind. Go Gadget hard on.
No!
She continues to show him how his junk works, and oddly enough, that's not as disturbing as it sounds. And Brown tries to get the hang of it.
There were two guys trying to rob a jewelry store, and you wanted to trip them up. What would you do?
Go Gadget oil slick.
That's not oil, it's toothpaste!
Why toothpaste?
Okay, why would anyone put that much toothpaste inside of him? I mean, how many emergencies require toothpaste? And why a hose? Is there really a situation where you need to shoot toothpaste from a hose? And why did it come out when he said oil slick? And why the fuck can't we see Dr. Claw? I'm sorry, I'm still on that. So he's introduced to his new set of wheels, a convertible.
Discount Gadget Mobile.
And just to ante up the annoyance in this film, they're proud enough to have the car voiced by D.L. Hewley. Oh, what a delight.
Good morning, Riverton.
I'll say this, D.L. Hughley is a funny comedian, but it's whenever he's telling his jokes and his material. Whenever he's being forced to regurgitate this kind of shit, not even D.L. Hughley can save this shit.
Hey, who's in the car? I work alone. I'm a crime fight machine. Watch this. That turn. Speed limits are for cars, not the Gadget Mobile.
Guess it could be worse. They could be having Chris Tucker doing the voice of the car.
Gadget, look out! Look out, Gadget! Oh my God! Look out! Left turn! Left turn, Gadget! Hey, don't you touch my radio! Don't you ever touch a black car's radio! Boy, look out! Touch the sound effects! Sound effects, go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Look at that!
Who's not wearing a seatbelt? Gotta wear the belt, baby. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, now, did you see that? A subtle
Fourth wall
little wink
break.
to the audience to show that it's aware it's a Disney movie. And of course, when I say a subtle little wink, I mean a fatal stabbing to the eye with a fucking salad fork!
A rookie thinking he's good enough for Dr. B. Not that it's any of your business, but what makes you think I was putting the moves on Dr. Bradford?
Hell? Are we in his mind now? Why are we in his mind? Alright, now we're back in the car. Okay, now we're back in his mind? Hey, I got an idea. Instead of showing us those extra scenes you shot for the movie but had nowhere else to put them, why don't you focus on something useful? Like, I don't know, getting us to the fucking end credits!
Yo, Clouseau, 9 o'clock.
So they come across a couple of criminals trying to steal a car. But Brown, of course, thinks they locked themselves out and actually helps them to steal it.
Here, this ought to do it. Ah, thanks.
Truly, they made the right choice in making him the world's first super cop. Imagine all those intelligent, hard-working officers putting their lives at risk that don't deserve such incredible powers. What a bunch of hacks!
Hey, what's a big idea? Open your eyes. We got us a couple of jailbreakers. Well, then we should inform the prison guard. Wait a minute.
By the way, just another pain to bring up in this movie. The editing is terrible. I mean awful. Some of the worst I've ever seen. Like, watch this shot. Halt! Did you see that? How short was that? 1/1000. It wasn't even half a second! What is the point of putting that shot in if you can barely see it? Was there a subliminal message that was trying to be snuck through? Actually, slow it down. Let's take a look. Ha! I know it! So they finally catch the bad guys, and Brown is claimed a hero. Later that night, he's invited to some sort of celebration of the new technology.
Excuse me?
I'll get it.
It was the movie, Doug.
Was that our sound effect?
Yes.
I mean, really? You gotta put sound effects in even when someone's getting tapped on the shoulder? What does it add? How does it tell the story any better?
It
Hell,
doesn't.
Maybe they're onto something. Maybe Silence of the Lambs would have been a lot more dramatic if they added sound effects.
What became of your lamb, Clarice? You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark. And hear the screaming of the lamb. Thank you, Clarice.
So Claw is impressed with Brenda's work and
hate
offers her a
that
job
a
to
lot.
I do too. It's not good.
work with him. But Gadget doesn't trust him, and apparently doesn't recognize him, seeing how he clearly saw him blow up his car. So he sets up a listening device that will no doubt lead to more irresistible zaniness. You know, I think I figured out the formula for this movie. It took me a while, but I think I got it down. Poorly edited slapstick, followed by weird wide-angle shot of some guy going, huh? And Matthew Broderick looking like an idiot. Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if that works. Slapstick, huh? Idiot. Slapstick, huh? Idiot. Slapstick, huh? Idiot. Well, you can't fault a formula when it works. Except, of course, when it doesn't work. It's annoying as fuck!
When do I get started on my big case?
Oh, soon enough, Gadget. I have a few assignments for you to cut your teeth on first.
Big Red, that's Inspector, over here,
So Brown gets his nickname.
Kind of disappointed to have this movie completely ruined for me, because like
I know.
I had decent memories of it from when I saw it as a kid.
But still wants to get closer to finding out who killed Brenda's father. He takes a look at the only clue from the scene of the crime and sees a small SI imprinted on it.
But what else could SI stand for? Space Invaders? Scuba instructor.
Yeah, I almost forgot she was in the movie because she hasn't been in it for so freaking long.
I know, right?
Oh, what about that?
Stolex Industries.
Oh, well, thank God they came across that. Lord knows it could be anything else in the entire world. SI, what could it mean?
Hey, Uncle Gary.
Sexual infection.
Sexual indecency. Stupidly insane. Bless you. Sports Illustrated. Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. Actually, hold on. Sports Illustrated. Sorry.
Gadget, look at that truck.
Oh, of course! Sports Illustrated!
You are right.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
They must have stolen that foot for their brand new Foot Fetish edition. Oh wait, Tucker Mobile! But it turns out he's right as he finds the foot heavily protected and tries to break it out.
Gotcha.
And once again, the formula. Slapstick. Huh? Idiot. Oh, did I also forget to mention an uncomfortable void of nobody laughing? So Claw shows him that he's made another Inspector Gadget, only this one's evil! And surprisingly an even worse performance.
That's a lot of fish!
As he wreaks havoc on the city, Dr. Claw removes the chip that keeps Gadget alive, taking away his only means of breathing.
And he's dead.
Goodbye, Mr. Chip.
By the way, am I the only one that thinks Broderick dead looks exactly the same as Broderick alive? I didn't think so. So Penny and Brenda locate him in the junkyard and try to see if they can bring him back to life.
The NSA chip is gone. He doesn't need the chip. He's got the heart. He'll do it all by himself.
Well, bye. Let me know how that all turns out.
John?
Uncle John?
John, can you hear us?
He's alive.
Brenda.
You're alive. It's a miracle.
That's right. Even though it defies everything logical and everything scientific, Inspector Gadget comes back to life simply through the will of heart. I said simply through the will of heart. Simply through the will of heart!
My tea.
Excuse me.
My tea.
Jane Austen, you are so frightfully witty and ahead of your time.
Say it! Say it! Say the fucking line!
What's wrong with you?
Say it! Say it! Say it right now!
Oh my God, it's Inspector Gadget, for God's sake!
Say it! Say the fucking line! Come on, say it! Say it! Say it!
I want to say it.
Say it right now! Say it, you monkey! Say it!
Out! Is that all I'm good for, you freak?
So the team gets together to stop Dr. Claw. First, they drop off Penny. Yeah, because it's not like she did much in the show. And they track down Dr. Claw's limo.
Gotcha! You're under arrest for the murder of Artemis Bradford, Skolex.
God, you're irritating.
I actually think that was the Critic's quote on the DVD. Huh, look at that. So the two gadgets fall out of the car and have a fight with each other. It's pretty lame and not the least bit funny, but no, there's no but after that.
We shouldn't be fighting. We've got a lot in common, except I've got nicer teeth. I'd hoped that we could have worked together. Been partners. Together, you and I could have ruled the world.
Of course! Not worth it.
Nope.
So he tosses the villain into the ocean right before saying, oh, let me guess, you should have quit while you were ahead. And goes after Dr. Claw, who, of course, has captured Brenda. You are under arrest! Yeah, I'm I'm sorry, I still can't get over how much this guy has nothing to do with Dr. Claw, the main villain of the show. He seems more like one of Dr. Claw's henchmen than he does the actual mastermind.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Bring on the brownies!
What are you doing? You're supposed to be disposing of Gadget.
Sit back and relax, darling.
Well, how dare you?
So as you'd imagine, Gadget gets Brenda off the helicopter and Claw ejects himself just to be caught by the car.
Gadget! This is not goodbye. I'll get you next time, Gadget! I'll get you!
Oh, Jesus. You know, if you want a movie that's actually more faithful to the essence of the villain, you'd be better off with this.
It's the Claw!
Oh my god. From Liar Liar. You want to know how painful that scene is for me? I still can't watch it without my neck almost cringing out of socket.
Oh, the Claw's coming at you. Oh, you're scared of the Claw. You're scared of the Claw.
Stop it!
And thus, we finally end the movie. Thank God. I don't think I could take any more of them.
The Claw is our master. He's the one who decides who will go and who will stay.
And welcome to Robo Brenda Aerobics, where I'll be your host, Robo Brenda.
Okay, now it's the end of the movie.
No, it isn't.
Okay, now it's the end of the movie. Oh, come on!
My name is Sykes.
Oh my god.
Okay, now it's the end of the movie. Jesus!
Watch. It's a radio, computer, even a phone. Brain, say something.
Brain is not here.
Complete waste of a great talent, but whatever. Fine. At least now it's finally over. Oh my God!
My movie. Even though we call
This is beyond desperate.
I know
You guys are really trying to get at least one laugh. Anything. Any measly little piece of shit giggle you can think of. I mean, really, you're trying everything. You're trying every last minute piece of shit giggle that you can get out of us. You are that needy for us to like something in this movie.
Yep.
Well, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Desperate is the perfect word to describe this movie. It throws every bottom of the barrel joke, every overused sound effect, every tired slapstick routine, and every over the top reaction in the sad hopes of getting a laugh. And not one of them works. Not once.
Nope.
It's edited horribly, it's acted horribly.
Not for adults, anyway. As kids I guarantee would find this shit funny.
It has little to do with the show, and the stuff that it does have to do with the show, it's a complete slap in the face. It's just crap. Total crap.
Okay, that was actually pretty funny too. Him grabbing the instructor's huevos.
If I were you, I will go back to the video store and get your fucking money back. Go get your refund. I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to.
Well, there you go.
Well, I need to call my mom tomorrow and apologize to her.
For having her sit through this movie with you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have had to have convinced her to take me to see this, and she had to sit through this.
You know what the funny thing is?
She was probably aware of how horrible it was.
You know what the funny thing is? I actually liked this movie so much as a kid, I collected all of the Inspector Gadget toys from Burger King.
I think I might have had this on VHS too. I don't remember though. I might have actually watched it more than one time, which is absurd.
Well, I mean, honestly, dude, this movie is something else. I really.
I'll take things that don't hold up for $500.
Yeah, I agree. So, Doug, thank you for sobering up my childhood a little bit. Thank you for that. And in all honesty, I really hope that more people, once again, Kate, you want to know how broken some people's memories are about some movies? The Cat in the Hat, the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat. Kate actually still has a positive idea about that movie.
Well, she did until we watched the nostalgia critic of it.
Oh, that's true. She did. Now I think she hates it just as much as I do.
She says she still has a special place in her heart for it because of watching it with, I think, her grandparents or something like that.
Probably,
Which is
yeah.
understandable.
Probably, but oh boy, that one hurts, dude. That one hurts.
The only thing I can really ever remember watching with one of my grandparents is I watched Matlock with my papa.
The last thing that I remember, okay, my grandma. I remember watching her watching Jerry Springer one time with her, and it was hilarious because they were talking about all this shit, and I was just like,
my family was never into Jerry Springer.
My grandma watched it a little bit.
I did watch a lot of Judge Judy with my mama and papa as well. I definitely remember watching Matlock with papa though because I really enjoyed it. And he was like, "Hey, I'm glad you like this. I like this show too."
For me, the last memory I have of like doing something with my grandfather before he passed away, my granddad on my mom's side, was playing through all 3 Uncharted games and letting him watch because
telling me about
that he loved that because he's a huge fan of like Indiana Jones and like action movies. And when I showed him those games, he was like, "This is a game?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a game." He's like, "It's like a movie." And I'm like, "You're playing that right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." You want to see me shoot this guy up on that rock? Watch this. Boom. He's like, "Oh, cool, man." He's like,
I played it with my ex-girlfriend, and my mom came in from something, and she was like, "I can't believe you're making her sit there and watch you play a game." And she's like, "Oh, I'm actually having a lot of fun. This is really cool to watch."
yeah, some games are like that. And I'm just sad that my granddad passed away before we could play Uncharted 4. I actually told Nolan North that when he signed my copy of the Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. I told him that, and he was just like, and he felt very like saddened for me, but it was cool though. It was cool that he could actually like talk with me about it, and the fact that I was able to have him sign it, I'm ecstatic about that. But anyway, yeah, this review once again,
This is
Todd Phillips.
The second or third thing I think that Doug has like definitely pointed out to me was really shit like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So there was also Five Will Goes West.
Oh yeah.
And Beethoven.
Beethoven. Yeah. Gosh.
I liked all 3 of these movies when I was a kid, but yeah, never really revisited them, so I didn't know how crappy they actually were.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad there are certain things from my childhood that still hold up though, like Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone still slaps, dude.
And Christmas Story. And
Die Hard.
Die Hard I never actually saw till I was in college. So it's
really?
A childhood thing for me.
Me and my dad watched that when I was like 13, and I just remembered like my dad like whenever like Bruce Willis was like cussing up a storm and everything. My dad looked over at me. He said, "Son, if I ever hear you talking like that, I'm gonna beat your ass." I'm like, "I ain't gonna say nothing, Dad." And he's just like, "Good kid." I was like, "Thanks."
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Yeah, that one still like makes me laugh because the fact they brought that up in friggin' did they bring that up in Always Sunny? They've also
the episode of well, they didn't bring it up when they originally did the vent thing, but no wait, they didn't actually bring up the vent thing at all. Oh yeah, the Die Hard reference in the gang gets held hostage is the fact that Frank tapes his gun to his back.
Yeah.
But they didn't bring that up in that episode, but they did bring it up like later
in the Sunny podcast.
They talk about Die Hard in a couple episodes, but the one where they really reference the censorship is in the Charlie McDennis episode. Whenever they get to the rule level where they're not allowed to curse anymore, and Max saying like that, Mr. Falconing, like something, you know.
Oh, God. The guy, Mr. Falcon.
Cheese and crepes, Mr. Falconing, cheese and crepes, like or whatever.
Yeah. And then there was I remember Conan O'Brien brought it up too, and he was hold on.
Yeah, they did mention it in the podcast too. Like, played the clip, and they're like, it's so ridiculous because it's like a completely different dude with a completely different accent.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Falcon and Conan O'Brien. Holy crap! I cannot believe. I can't believe it. Yeah, Gosh. Anyway, that's gonna do it, everyone. So, thank you all very much for tuning in, and until next time, everyone. I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Take care. Peace.